Hey everyone. A lot of people joining in. Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. You can also comment in the chat where are you from joining so that we know. I'm here sitting from India and Grace has joined us from Germany.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this
Yeah.
topic because it's something
Yeah.
that's so close to my heart and
Yeah.
so simple that many people forget about.
Absolutely. I need a reminder sometimes when it gets too rough and I did not think of a better topic to talk about with you. So,
Oh,
okay, let's do this.
bless you.
Yeah. Hey guys, thank you for joining in. And yeah, this is the fourth life in the Healing is Leaving series for this month. And today we have Grace Grossmann with us, who is a yoga teacher, a writer, a wellbeing coach, and now a kindergarten teacher. I hope I've covered everything
You go,
because
girl. I know
because
it's
you've
a
literally
mouthful.
got yeah, because you've got a beautiful portfolio. I mean, the kind of expertise that you have, it just speaks through your energy and your the light that you spread. So thank you for joining us and sharing your energy with us today, Grace.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I love this series that you're doing to uncover the true things that can heal us. It's
Yeah.
something that so many people can reconnect with. So when you asked me, I was like, oh, this is so lovely.
Yeah. We often get into a cycle of talking and writing about healing, intellectualizing it, but rather forget in our day-to-day life of integrating those practices, integrating those words, integrating those things that we usually talk and write about. So I think that was the place where I really wanted to come on board with all of you. And it is pure coincidence that I happen to bring together all the powerful women who have walked the journey by themselves, walked through the fire, and are spreading the light through them and enlightening people, helping them heal. So it's truly healing for me throughout the month, and it's been, in a way, tough because listening and having those lessons myself and taking the time to integrate has been so that it in a way has been truly healing for me in a lot of ways.
That's so interesting, isn't it? Because you probably
Yes,
didn't think that when you were making the series.
yes,
And then when you like do it yourself, it's exactly how I felt on the weekend in a live online summit.
yeah,
You know, you're hosting, you're organizing it, all the background, and then you're in there and you're like, oh my gosh, I had so many reflections and findings for myself that I wasn't expecting because I was hosting the
yeah,
summit. But of course, I was still participating like you are
yeah,
in these lives. And the more conversations you have with people, the more stories you hear from people, they touch you. You don't
yeah,
just hear them and then it goes out the other, like they really go deep if you allow it, right?
yeah. That's exactly what has been happening. Sometimes I'm sitting with those conversations and certain things, certain words that hit you really hard, and it takes a few days to come back and reflect myself. So it has been a very beautiful journey in a way to put ourselves out here like this, and despite the anxiety and all sort of creepy things that's actually coming to the surface, but yet being able to do that. And that's exactly what we are here to talk about. These tiny moments, even in a conversation, even in our days, even in our lives, that we usually miss, where real healing happens, not running away from it, but just staying with that discomfort or staying with that joy.
Yeah. I'm with you. I feel like those moments we can definitely bypass
Mm,
because of the hectic rhythm of life. But it's when you are actually actively, let's say, healing, it means that you're becoming more aware of your
mm,
surroundings and more aware of how you take care of yourself. So you do
mm.
just become way more hyper aware of your healing because triggers, things that people say, things that you see. And that's why it's true when you say about the tiny things, they matter more because you become more present in the moment when you notice the power of how these small things can make you feel whole again, right?
Mm. Yeah, yeah. And when you're talking about the small things, while we are usually caught up in the past stories or worried about the future, we are constantly in that rut, in that rumination, not being able to present ourselves and change our relationship with that moment. And when you hit that pause, when you truly be present, what's happening to you in that moment is when you realize that, oh, this was something of the past which is not needed at the moment. Maybe I can try and change this relationship now and
Yeah,
make a different choice.
I like the way you say that because it's like, even though you are present and you are healing, it doesn't mean that the past will arise. Of course it does, but like you said it very well, it's like a little like hint from God or from whatever you believe in, like, hey, now you have to rewire this. Now you have to think
Yeah.
about this in a different way. I don't know about you, but I have many more moments like that these days because I'm in such like a transformational, I mean, we're always transforming, right? But like
Mm,
I'm going through a lot of change in my life right now and we'll be moving soon, coming to the end of my studies, like a lot of endings right now in my life
mm,
are occurring and new beginnings. And so I think through that, I'm also more like attentive to, okay, I can be in the present and still appreciate my surroundings, but also think of the future. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
It's like a balance between the two, like
mm,
grounding
mm,
yourself in gratitude for what you have right now, but also knowing, like, oh, what is coming, I want to concentrate
mm,
on and manifest and, use my power of imagination. It's about balancing it all, really, because I mean, I've always grounded myself in the present moment. I don't know about you, Janky, but
yeah.
it's like it's always been my tool of peace. I
Mm,
mean, um, it's it sounds so easy, and sometimes I'm like, it is easy, but maybe it's because it's become a habit for me that it becomes easy. Do you know what I mean? But I know that it can be easy. Like
mm,
if you want something and you don't label it as hard and you want it to be easy and you want to flow, then it
mm,
will be. Like it's just those little shifts, right? That
yeah,
then make
yeah,
you more present in like the morning tea and toast that I'm like now
yeah,
my home comfort of England, right? So it's like, oh, I have
mm,
that, it's those little
yeah.
things that really matter the most.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see meet you there. I've not always been the kind of person who could find myself present. I was always either in the past or in the future, constantly like
Okay,
kind of chronically worried, I would say,
okay.
of what's going to happen next, and then anticipation of something to go wrong. So it
Like an
has taken a lot
analytical.
of, yes, yes. So it has kind of taken a lot of practice to ground myself, to be in the present and truly understand my triggers, what is actually disturbing me, and work in a way that helps me build sustainable change, not just quick fix. So there's a kind of difference that we see, that there are some quick fixes that instantly you do a practice and you move on because it makes you feel a quick calm in that moment, but it's not truly sustainable. You haven't really worked through the challenge, or you haven't really sat through the pain that it needed your attention. So that has taken a while for me, but now I think I find myself a lot more present during daily chores. I enjoy myself thoroughly when I'm actually doing laundry. Laundry has become kind of, my favorite thing to do in the day. I don't know, somehow it just brings me a lot of presence and calm because I'm so involved. All my senses are very active, even for cooking for that matter. These are just small joys in the day that I find myself rooted and grounded and present.
Yeah, that is a great topic. I'm so glad that you brought that up. The daily rituals that are actually things that you need to do, like washing the dishes,
Yeah,
washing your
yeah,
clothes, vacuuming. These
yeah.
things I also love. But like my friends have always laughed at me because I've always loved them because it's my opportunity to listen to a podcast or to like dance or listen to
Yes.
music. Vacuuming, I love because I just dance and sing. Like
Yeah.
washing the dishes, I always used to do as well. Like my ex used to cook and I would do the dishes. And I loved it because I would just listen to a podcast and get in my
Yes.
zone, you know? And like you said, it's like all the senses are active. So you're way more present. And
Yeah.
then if you can concentrate on these small acts that we all have to do every day, right? If not every day, you know, every other day, whatever. And why not find the joy in them? Like I said
Yeah.
that to my friend once, and she's not one for cleaning. She has a
Mm.
very messy room. And, you know, they've said, haven't they, that a messy room reflects a messy mind. I mean, also
Mm.
creates mind. But I've always like noticed that when I'm able to like have a clean environment around me, I think way more better. I get way more into my writing flow and focus. And she was always like, but how? How do you get to the point where you just want to do it? And I'm thinking, think of the feeling after. The feeling
Mm.
after you've done your chores and you're like, oh, now I can have a cup of tea or be
Yeah.
proud of myself. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you have to sometimes gear yourself up for these chores, especially, you know, if you're depressed and like mental health issues
Yeah.
are obviously holding you back. I get it, it can be
Yeah.
hard. It's like thinking of the small step that you're going to do to get there. You know, like it's really, like you say very well, like sustainable change is what you want. It's what we all
Mm.
want. But in order to
Mm.
get there, it's small steps that count every
Yes.
day. You don't just get to a marathon, get to the top of a mountain. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes consistency
Yeah.
and fun. I think
Yeah.
fun is
Yeah.
really missing out a lot of the formulas. Do you?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I couldn't agree more there. And just to add on what you've shared, I do believe that sometimes we have a number of excuses, genuine reasons that we don't have time, to
Yeah.
indulge ourselves into the practices, and we are super busy. But I find that rather than taking that time out of your day to sit and do something, these are some rituals or routines that you can convert into rituals with intention to be present
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
make them fun. So just like you shared, you love to put on some music and dance during doing vacuum. I love doing that cooking. I recently started experimenting a lot more. I put on my favorite music. I love to dance when I'm cooking, and I think that has changed my relationship with cooking absolutely because I was someone who hated cooking at all. I did not enjoy cooking because,
Um,
yeah, because that came with a lot of genderized stereotypes in the country that I stay. So it kind of created that hate love hate relationship, but then you have to cook.
okay, like you have to.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, how can I change my relationship with this? And with intent, I converted that into a ritual for me to be purely present and infuse my food with love and fun, which allowed me to create a ritual out of it. So I think when we talk about tiny moments and moments to be more present, moments to be more aware, we don't necessarily need to see time outside of our busy schedules, but rather create mini rituals of already what we are doing in everyday life.
Yeah, embed it into your daily
Yes,
routine. Doesn't
yes,
have to be new things. It can be,
yeah,
like we're saying, daily chores that you make fun. And I love that you did that because that
yeah,
takes a lot to. I mean, I can imagine in India it's more the woman's role, like you have to cook. And I guess it's like I mean, you know, generalize it. It's more
yeah,
been the woman's role for like, you know,
yeah,
but like to like already shift that perspective of like I don't have to, I want
yeah.
to.
Want to.
That is such a magical shift that you can apply in everything in your life. Like just the power of being like, oh, it's an honor for me to. It's a privilege that I even have a full fridge of food. You know, like these
Mm,
little things that like I was also growing up, you know, my mum came from a poor background. So she did not let me forget, be grateful for what you have on your plate. You're finishing
mm,
it. And you know, these little things that I really took with me. And I was like, it's so true. Like, you know, that stereotype. Kids in Africa don't have food like
Mm,
you. Obviously, it can cause guilt, but in
mm,
essence, it's showing us, hey, we have to be grateful for a roof over our head, a bed,
mm,
a full fridge, because that means we are the top richest people in the world. Like, if
mm,
you're listening, just think about like that. Sometimes I'm like,
mm.
wow, that's really crazy. Like, you are rich if you have those three small but big things. Like, you are
Yeah,
safe, and
yeah,
that we take for granted, don't you think? Like, we take so much for granted these days because we're told that we can have so much,
mm,
but we should actually really be grateful for our privilege. We're not living in a war torn country. We're not,
mm,
so much stuff goes on in our world, and you do have to just really remind yourself, too, like, wow, I am safe, I am at
mm.
peace, and I have the opportunity to cook
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lovely,
yeah,
nutritious meal.
yeah, yeah. I would agree to that here. I mean, when you talk about um, seeing this as the rich, just today I read an article on Substack about defining success. And this is
Okay.
something that I've been actively working on since past few years now, redefining what success means to me, redefining what richness, what wealth truly means to me. And that has really helped me be present, actually, become more aware of my needs, of how can I be more aligned with my own needs? How can I truly create a life that does not necessarily look very successful externally, but I am truly rich internally. I'm truly wealthy internally. I mean, I don't want to put a showcase out there that, oh, look at my life, it's how perfectly put together. Because, especially in a culture that I'm seeing, being in a status, having that sort of external richness and wealth matters a lot. And when you put yourself in comparison with everyone around you, you start not appreciating enough what you already have, like you just shared, that when you have those privileges and things already with you so easily, without working a lot harder, you start taking for those things for granted.
Yeah.
Your health is a privilege. You can move is a
Yeah.
privilege.
Yeah.
I mean, these things I don't take for granted anymore because once you start seeing these small things, it's actually the small things that makes your life so much richer and helps you be more present and aware of what is that you want, what direction do you truly want to move forward, even if that means taking two steps back, reevaluating, collecting yourself, and then taking the next step.
Yeah, that's so important as well. Always giving yourself that chance to reevaluate
Yeah.
if your values are in line with who you are, because it changes as well. Um, I like though that you say, I mean, these little things really do matter the most, but sometimes it does take the darkness, like
Hmm.
experiencing the darkness to truly embrace the lightness around us. Like, so when I lost my best friend at the age of 21, it was a massive turning point for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I've always been that jolly person to be able to notice the little things. Like, my friends have always said, oh, I look up more because you tell me to do, because you see everything. But I think that point when my best friend died, I like really was able to just notice him around me. Like just a little glimmers where I'm like, oh, it's a sign that he's still with me. And I think that also comes from grief, so that you're
Hmm.
able to really connect with your surroundings and your heart so that you feel still so connected to that
Hmm.
person, but it also gives you meaning and it gives you so much more sustenance in life and richness, like you just said. I think a lot of the time we're told in society that materialistic items
Hmm.
make us rich. And that was something I was very much aware of when I was younger anyway. But then when I lost my best friend and wrote my book, it was like something that was like within me, like, I have to share this with people because so many people bypass, the opportunity to notice really daily acts daily little things that make life so fulfilling. And if you're passing out on them, like you were saying before, it means you're living in the present, in the past, or the future. And what we want is the mindful awareness of now. And that's why the little things have so much to do with honoring where you are, who you are, and also honoring this life that you're in. You know, like you also just said, like, I'm so grateful for my health, right? Like for a moving body, for eyes to see beauty, for hands to write with. It sounds so stupid when you say it sometimes, right? But it's like, it really is like you have to zoom in, because a lot of the time we're very zoomed out. And this capability to zoom in is something that I've always had, but I've never really known how special it can be in the past few years, because you know when you assume everyone's like that, there's a lot about you that I probably don't have. You know, like we're all so unique, and when you notice your superpowers, then you want to share them to help care for others, right? And I thought I would just like read this out from my book, because Little Things is one of the chapters in here. And when I was grieving and writing this, it was definitely the little things in Severe that were getting me through daily life of grief and new beginning and a new city and new everything. So yeah, why bypass what the world has to offer? Don't dismiss the delight that simple moments behold in brightening your day or bringing you a source of hope on your way. Little things are all around you. You've just forgotten to look up, look around. You're stuck to screens that drain our souls and dismiss our needs. Look up, stare inquisitively, smile intentionally, stride intently, study the sky, adore its beautiful bluey pink sunset colours, or the clouds' formations, gathering to shower our streets with water. Just realised how poetic that is.
That was lovely. I think we should have started with that actually.
I know.
It just covered the entire conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us. It's truly very beautiful.
I thought, obviously, in our topic of little things, I mean, I have a whole chapter on it and I could write a whole book about it. I would have to share something out of my chapter, so I did find that before we started speaking, because I know you love your sunset guys too.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Grace, when we're talking about this, especially when I have struggled myself to find myself, present, even some days that are very tough, where I'm extremely, my mind is chaotic and restless, and I believe that so many of us, even today, with so many distractions that we are surrounded with, and so many stresses to deal with, how do we bring back ourselves in the most simplistic manner back to the present and hold ourselves again, create that safety in the present moment?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think there are very many ways that you can ground yourself back to now. One of my favorites is, like I just said before, look up and look around. Because I think a lot of the time when we're in our heads, we have the tendency to look down. From now on, notice how people walk around. Notice how people are on the trains. Everyone is either looking at their phone or looking down. Like, I really noticed that. And the moment you look up, especially if you're outside, I mean, there's no need to say that, right? You are already like distracting your mind and putting yourself in the present moment around you. So look around you. What can you see? What can you smell? What can you hear? Like, can you hear the birds? It's about like taking yourself from abstraction and distraction to attraction, and like attracting yourself to all your senses, like you were saying before, with like cooking and daily chores, like all activating the senses. When you activate all your senses, anxiety has no power over you anymore, because you're really like going from the state of being overwhelmed and like in this bubble, to now bursting out your bubble. So I like to think of it as like, you're expanding instead of like coming down. So just look up, I mean,
Yeah,
to be as basic as possible and just really think about all your senses and notice, it's that real mindful noticing. And then after a minute, you'll be like, oh, I forgot what I was worrying about.
yeah.
Because you're like
I
taken
think,
away by the birds and the beauty around you, and you're like, oh, yeah, it's fine now.
yeah, what you shared about expansion and contraction, that's something even while I was in my yoga training, that
Yeah.
was something taught that some poses allow you to expand where we're expanding, we're opening up our heart, we're opening up our chest, and we're inhaling more. And when we're contracting, we are coming in and our entire body is coming closer. When we are exhaling, we are removing all the toxins. So when you just said that, look up and you're expanding, it just took me back there that that was something that even yoga postures and asanas help you do that, the expansion and the natural contraction, which also mimics the seasons that we go through in life, the expansion and the contraction.
Yeah,
So
that's
some
lovely.
moments are where you expand and some moments are where you contract. Some moments are some deep inhales while some are just exhale and releasing and letting go. So that actually kind of that really just puts everything into perspective. Even when you look at the micro and when you step back and look at the macro, it's just the same principle applying.
Yes, I love that you brought that up about yoga poses expanding because it's so true. Like when I also teach, I notice everyone like this. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I'm sorry I'm saying this again, but shoulders back.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
because everyone forgets straight away, like, because we are a
yeah,
hunch
yeah.
society. Have you seen like that AI photo of like predicting how we're going to look like in 20 years? We're all like this,
Mm,
because of like the hours we spend sitting. But like also that is a good one. If you're in your head, like the question you just said, if you're in your head, tap into your body. Like really take your shoulders
mm,
back, open your heart, chin up, like straight back. And then you think of all of these little things and you're like going into your body rather
mm,
than in your mind. So you want to like spread the energy, right?
mm.
Oh, thank you, Lavender. I love that name, Lavender.
Yeah. She is another light here,
She
Lavender.
is.
Yeah,
It's so nice getting to know so many beautiful
yeah.
souls on this platform. I just have to say, like,
Substack has been truly, truly healing in a very different manner
wow,
for, I think, as many people I've connected and been able to talk to. It's truly something that no one has anticipated it to become like.
right? Like,
Yeah,
no other social media platform
no,
has been like this for me.
no.
Like, it's a true expansion.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
it
I
is, it
think
is.
we're all like sick of like being stuck in comparison, in
Yeah,
FOMO and whatever. And now it's like, oh, we're opening our hearts, we're all
yeah,
healing together, we're all learning together. And I really love that energy.
yeah.
And you can always get into that energy. I think that's always something you have to remember if you're caught off by the past or the future. I just tell
Mm,
myself, snap out of it. Like sometimes just like
mm,
talk to yourself like a kid, like stop it.
yeah. Yes, Lavender, yes.
Yes, I'm so thankful for this community too. It's like true. It's amazing.
Yeah. I request everyone, if you have any questions, any comments, any feedback to drop down, you can just share your thoughts in the chat so that we can answer while we are here and while we are talking endlessly about the mindful moments, being mindful in this life, which we are truly enjoying.
Yeah. So what would you say is your big little thing right now in your life? Like we obviously have different things every day, but is there something that keeps you grounded daily that is you
Yeah,
said cooking recently? Is there anything else?
yeah. Yeah, so recently my husband, I think it's been 2 months, he had been wanting a beanbag since 2 years, and finally we've been able to get a beanbag. It's been 2 months, so I have a big French window in our house which is overlooking to a forest area,
Oh,
what I like to do is, it's right there in front of the window. I put my pin back and I intentionally, when it's around 4:35, when the birds are migrating back to their homes, I
Hmm.
love to sit there, spend some time, and just watch the birds going back in herds, making those patterns. One bird is leading the other. They are just constantly taking the turns. I think there is something so magical in that moment, and I believe I had been missing out on that simple moment when it was right in front of me. And one just fine evening while I was watching it, I was like, okay, I don't want to miss this moment anymore. And I
Oh,
sit there almost every evening, even if it's for 15, 20 minutes. And sometimes the sky is so magical during the sunset. It's just pink, it's just orange. And sometimes you don't even have the colors in your vocabulary to describe the color of the sky. It's so magical.
that's so
So,
beautiful.
yeah, that's something I've been doing routinely to just be there. I don't want any agenda, no improvement, no betterment. Just watching the sky, watching the birds fly with their family, going back to their homes and migrating. And it's, I don't know, it's just something that allows me to be a part of them, to be the part of something bigger than me,
Hmm.
basically. So
Hmm.
even if it's a small moment, I just tend to do that, even if it's for some time. So that's something recently that I've been taking some time.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. And what
Especially,
about you?
um, I would say it's similar to you. I really loved your little story with the birds because it just shows like how your imagination is also being nurtured through watching the birds,
Yeah.
right? So lovely. I would say something similar in the sense of like my daily walks. Like I've always done daily walks, but now I know. You ever get this feeling when you know that you're leaving a place soon, so you automatically feel more appreciation for it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that is currently happening in my life. Although I'm happy to leave here because I used to live here with my ex, I have all my memories here with him in the fields. But I also am very grateful that I have the fields that I escape to every day to
Mm,
relax, to reset. I did it yesterday morning rather than the evening because it was just
mm,
only like 2 hours of sun in the morning. So I was like, quick. And
yeah,
whenever I walk into the fields, I hear the birds too. And I think that's also where I just thought of that. Like, I don't have my phone on me so much, or if I do, I
yeah,
always put it on flight mode, which I recommend to everyone because I've done that all the time just to know that I'm just there with myself, you know? And then just listening to the birds, I'm like, wow, they're all like proper like, and then you think to yourself, oh, I wonder what they're saying, and then like because I'm a kindergarten teacher, I do really notice the little things like kids, you know, like oh look at that squirrel, and you know, especially
yeah,
all of their attention, you know, it's not like
yeah,
our age, like they'll be like, oh my gosh, where, you know, so I do feel like I'm
yeah,
really a kid when I'm with them. And so then the other day I stopped and I watched these two squirrels and you know, this guy went past walking his dog and just looked at me. And then I smiled and he was like, oh, you know, nice that you're doing that. And I was like, oh yeah. You know, because it's funny because not everyone watches nature like
yeah,
this active
yeah,
this active appreciation that me and you are just like kind of gathering within us. I really love that you said it reminds me that like it's not just me, there's so much more around me, like you know
mm,
there is a bigger reality, there is
mm,
nature around us just takes its course. And I think that
mm,
is what's special about whenever I go to like half an hour walks daily, I'm reminded of the flowers, you know, there'll be new flowers I notice, or and I'm like, wow, nature just always takes its course. It doesn't want to improve.
mm,
It doesn't
mm,
need to plan because it knows every season's coming. And it just
yeah,
puts me back to that, like,
yeah,
okay, I don't have a to-do list right now because my to-do list is being here. And then
yeah,
that essentially enables me to adapt that mindset in all I do. Like, I don't know about you, but then when you've watched the birds, like afterwards, do you notice the effect? Because for me, it's like then when I've come back from my walk, it's like I could then go back into thinking, okay, what do I want to do now? And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'll listen to my body, and if I'm not feeling it, it's
Hmm.
okay. Do
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? It's like you
yeah,
respect more your flow of life when you take
yeah,
the time to appreciate the flow of life.
yeah. Yes, that actually happens, and this has been again coincidentally not really planned, but once I'm done with my sky and bird watching, that just post that happens to be my cooking time. So I'm like, okay,
That's nice.
now the birds have enjoyed themselves. It's my time to
Oh,
enjoy. And then I just put on the music to carry on the same energy. And while the sky is lit as it is, my kitchen is also facing the sky, although it's not
oh,
very clear, but it is.
okay.
So I continue that journey and it kind of just carrying the same awareness but coming in more into the present moment, more of my routine and ritual that I have to carry on with the day. So that's what happens. And what you just shared about when we observe something, when we tune in so much around in our environment, we become more aware of our true needs, which is exactly what we also talked about in our last live about that helps you in tune, live more intuitively of truly understanding what season are you in your life, not only in your life, but what season is are you in your day? What does this day wants from me, not rather what I should be doing. There are
Yes.
some shoots that are urgent and which needs to be looked upon, okay. But I do believe that certain shoots can be left behind and you can allow yourself to give what your body needs that particular day.
That's so well said. I love that. It's true when you attune to what's around you, you invite the awareness within you.
Mm,
And it's just about listening to our intuition, right? And
mm,
when we take time to stay still and to
mm,
notice, then our intuition will speak with us. And
yeah.
like, I really like what you just said because it's true. Sometimes everything has its season. And sometimes
Mm,
you don't have to do things that has been on your mind for months. There's a reason why maybe you've not done it. Push it to the side. It's gone now. Like sometimes I want to like permit, like clients that I've worked with too, like, why can I not do this? And I'm like, well, how important is it to you? They just really
mm,
ask yourself because if it's so important, then you might have done it already.
mm,
Or there's a big, deeper reason why you're procrastinating, why you're not doing it. Because maybe you're not taking out this time that me and you are describing of watching the birds, being present, moving our body, listening to our body. Are you inviting that a tuning in? It's just like a radio. Are you tuning into your radio, right?
yes,
Because a lot of the
yeah,
time, not people aren't tuned into their radio. It's just
yeah,
loud, and it's like
yeah,
and you can't tune into anything there. And then I
yeah,
always think like when those old school radios my mum still has, and you have to like get the right station, right? And it's like
yeah,
that takes attention. And then I'm like, and that just think of that with your mind, your body, and your soul. You have to take the time to actually just attune into what you can listen around you, and it's stillness. If you invite the
yeah,
stillness in, the stillness within you will speak with you. Like I'm very, very like positive of that. It's just the
yeah,
willingness. Like, are you ready?
yeah,
Because it can be hard. A
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
things can come up. Like, that's why I'm here as well as a coach, because sometimes you do need that support because some things do come up when the silence is there and they hit you like fear or future or whatever. But
mm,
like you said at the start, you have to rewire it. You have to think,
yeah,
oh, I'm just
yeah,
relearning. And,
yeah, yeah. I think what you just shared about the willingness, when you start on this journey, when you're extremely in a place where your mind feels chaotic and restless, and when you have that willingness or just a desire to have that change, that there is a change that is required, and I'm ready to do that. I think that particular phase or that stage of that willingness that I want to change is very important for you to take that step because it's not going to be easy, like you said. It's going to take so many repetitions of bringing back your awareness again and again to this moment whenever it is being stretched or distracted by a thousand other things that demands your attention. But it is your willingness because of which you'll always bring yourself back and tell yourself that no, this is what is important to me right now. And with those repetitions, I think just like it comes naturally to you now, it becomes a muscle for you to be present and aware.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right. There's two big ingredients into the mixture of it: willingness
Yeah.
and regular, like consistency.
Yes.
Because,
Yeah.
like you just said with the muscle, like our brain is a muscle, like you have to just train
Hmm.
it, but you have to be ready and willing. Because if you're
Hmm.
not, then sure, you're going to fall into old habits again. Sure,
Hmm.
the past is going to creep up on you, or your anxiety, or your stress. And I've been depressed, so I do get it. But when you like open those doors to awareness, I really do believe that you can't get pulled back because your willingness of enjoying the beauty of life around you
Hmm.
isn't going to give up on you, because that is
Hmm.
really the meaning of life, for us to enjoy our life in this present moment for what we are and who we are, and spread
Hmm.
that like we are doing here. And it's so nice to speak with you and have all of you here. It's so lovely. We're so grateful. And when you're on that higher vibration, nothing can you bring you down. Like I'm really in that flow now where of course I'm not perfect, and of course I will have like thoughts come in, but I just won't allow myself to be captured by them anymore.
Hmm.
There's just so many practices in my toolbox that I can just reach into and just be like, okay, I'll do that.
Hmm.
And I think it's so good that you said this willingness, because many people lack that,
Hmm.
but we all have it. Like you do have it. We're all human beings. It's
Yeah.
just the question of how much do you think you deserve a good life? Because it
Yeah.
all is about worth at the
Yeah.
end. Do you
Yeah.
deserve a good life? Just think about it and feel into it. And if you don't think you deserve it, you do. And you just got to work on it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. And even just in one part you mentioned about you can have it easy, you can have it effortless, you can have it, restful. But you need to know that you're worthy enough. You need to know that you deserve of that. And especially if you have gone through a very difficult period in your life, it's difficult to believe in that at the first because your circumstances make you believe that it is only the hard way. You have to live life the hard way. But again, it's the rewiring that takes that no, you deserve to have it easy. You deserve to be in the flow of life. You deserve to receive the abundance of life. While
Yeah.
we are looking outward, while we are looking it into moments, into circumstances, it is here, right here with us that's there, and it's only waiting for our awareness.
Yes. That's so lovely.
Yeah.
You all deserve it. It's just really about getting to the root of it and what is holding you back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's been
Thank
lovely.
you.
I can't believe we have so many
Yeah.
people with us. It's lovely how
Yeah,
many of you
absolutely.
have tuned in. We're talking about the small things because the I've always said it and I always will say it, and I'm finally noticing everyone is attuning to the power of it. Small
Mm,
things are really the big things in life. It's something I've
mm,
always lived by because I've lived by my heart, followed my heart. But I think slowly now people are finally realizing, oh shit, yeah, the busy, stressy life isn't the one. The hustle isn't the one, like you don't want to live in a standby approach of always existing, but you want to enjoy your life. And that's why Yankee and I are to talk about like attuning into the effort that you can do every day because you deserve it. I really believe that these little things heal me. I'm sure they heal you too, right?
yeah,
It's a crazy journey, but the
yeah,
small things allow us to enjoy it that little bit more.
yeah. Also, I keep saying that I think after experiencing the power of it, that we rarely heal alone. You need to come together with a community that allows you to share your stories and be seen. Because at the end of the day, we are just walking each other home through our stories, through our words, and
Yeah.
through our voices. So, Grace, you are building a beautiful community, and truly, I mean, your words, your light speaks all for it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to found like a community for a while because I was doing
Mm,
workshops and group coaching and all of this. And then at the end, it was always like, okay, now we drift away back into our own lives. But I'm very
mm,
honored that you're a part of Healing Hearts Hub. It's only the beginning of something big. I feel I'm slowly attuning to everyone's needs, that people really want small, attainable goals
mm,
that are everlasting, like you mentioned at the start of this live. And I'm noticing the power of setting these goals in a community environment
mm,
empowers and motivates you that bit more because everyone's on your side, everyone's cheerleading you on, like, oh yeah, I want to do that. And like, I don't know about you, but you know, the goal that I set last week to not drink coffee, like then only drink it in the
mm.
afternoon. In my head, I was like, I have to do this because I said it in the community. It's like an accountability as well because like other
Yeah,
people have like, you know, been there to hear me say this, so I was like, okay, I'll
yeah,
do it. You know, it's that
yeah,
bit extra push that sometimes we need. And like you say, we do heal way better when we're all together.
yeah.
So I'm with you there, and I'm happy that we're in this together.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you've shared today. And I'm going to share this replay tomorrow or day after with everyone so that we can come back to it whenever we need it, pick pieces and take away and integrate in our life, hopefully. And thank you everyone for joining in and choosing to spend your time with us basically right now, which is truly a lot and means a lot for us because we both weren't talking alone. It's the collective energy that brought us together
Yeah.
here to have this conversation together.
Yes. And well done for taking time with us to talk about the things that really matter in our life. I hope that we've brought
Yeah,
you the power of small things. Yay! Hold to the small
yeah.
things. This was so lovely. Thank you, Lavender, for joining us.
Thank you everyone.
Yeah, have a nice day or
Yeah,
evening.
yeah. You too.